Hi everyone. So this morning I'd like to correct quite a commonly held misconception that mental health is about feeling happy. It's not about feeling happy because nobody's happy all the time. That would be weird. Instead, mental health is about feeling emotions which are appropriate under particular circumstances. And because circumstances are constantly changing, so our emotions should also be evolving, a little bit like the weather. And each one of our changing emotions really helps us to respond effectively on a behavioral level. So for example, if I feel sad, maybe that makes me stop what I'm doing and think a little bit and to process what's happened. Maybe it's a negative experience, or maybe I'm processing loss, or maybe it just helps me to rethink things. If I'm feeling guilt, that can be a push to maybe change a behavior that's hurtful to someone. Or if I'm feeling worry or fear, that can activate me to mitigate risk or deal effectively with the danger. I remember many years ago watching a documentary on a mountain climber, and I always remember the one comment that he made. He said that fear is his greatest ally, and the day that he stops feeling fear is the day he stops climbing. And he said that because he realizes that without fear, his life is in much greater danger. So in the current, these strange circumstances that we find ourselves in currently, I think worry is a very topical thing. I think most people are worrying about how the pandemic already has impacted on them or potentially will in future. So the key thing to remember is that worry is actually a useful thing. It's potentially very helpful. But what one needs to do is figure out when is it appropriate to worry and when is it not appropriate to worry. So here's a little chart I use to help me figure out the difference. Two elements to worry, or to deciding whether or not it's worth worrying. Control. Some things we have high control over, other things we have little or no control over. And the second dimension is importance. So some things are very important and other things are less important. So the things in this quadrant here, which are both important and there's a lot which I can do about it, that stuff is worth worrying about. That's when worry fulfills a really useful function, especially if it motivates you to action, to doing something about the danger. This quadrant here, there's a lot I can do about it, but it's not quite as important as this stuff. Well, if the thing you're worrying about falls into here, then first worry about this stuff and sort that out. Then by all means, if you have time, energy, mental space, then worry about this too. But first make sure you complete that. This quadrant here is a complete waste of time. Nothing much you can do about it, and it's also not that important. Let it go. Don't waste any time or energy there. This is the difficult one. Things which are very important to us, but there's little or nothing we can do about it. So I guess with these things, the first question to ask yourself is, what little bit can I do about it? And if there is anything that you can do, this little sliver here, actually, that should then move across into the first quadrant. The rest of the stuff that I genuinely can't do anything about, I need to just manage, work around, and accept it as best as possible. So the bottom line, to help you figure out whether or not it's worth worrying, ask yourself two questions. You need to be able to answer yes to both questions. First of all, is this genuinely important? And secondly, is there something I can do about it? If you can answer yes to both those questions, then worry. If you cannot answer yes to both, then rather turn your attention elsewhere and channel your worry more effectively. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.